blessings. It's your boy Living. I want to dive into this. This has been going viral, and it's something about the church. My church folks, y'all gotta tell me what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm a church dude. I grew up. I was an altar boy, and so I've been in the church, the Catholic, the Baptist, the Pentecostal, you can name it. So, and I feel like I'm in a lack of, I'm covered. I'm so covered. Sometimes I block a lot of my blessings because of the things that I do and the things that I take on, but that's changing. But when I sit here and I look at this new wave of being in the pulpit, now I've always wondered, and this is just me, I've always wondered how when we look at these I have to call them super bishops, super leaders when it comes to religion, because religion is so big in America and abroad. It's big in other countries too, but they have discipline. And I'm gonna get back on. I'm come back to that, to the discipline part, what I spoke of. But it's like they're here, they're there, and we're here. And it's like we deal with things that sometimes we don't really get to really see because we don't think that way, because we think it's us operating in the spirit. And this is the thing, that people could have different emotions and then call it, this is what God said to me. This is what the spirit is saying to me now. So they take that and they grab it and they pull it down and then they spew it out to the people. I'm not saying what Mr. Bishop Marvin is, he's not a great evangelist or speaker for speaker or leader for God. But I am saying that in the stories of me growing up, it was always taught, bring what you have. Bring what you have. Even if you have more, doesn't mean you need to bring more. Bring what you can bring to support. So I watched David Taylor, and I'm gonna put the and I'm gonna go back because I'm going through my archives, and I'm gonna put that up too. The David Taylor dissertation. I mean, this guy, when she asked, um, what's this house that is on the asset list of your paperwork showing 2.8 million? Is that a house that you guys own? He said JMMI was, no, it's a residential center. It's a house. Big house with a pool in the back. Now I'm not saying it can't be a residential center. It can't be. But dive into where a residential center is. That's like a retreat for treatment. People getting treated. And I hate to make it seem like I'm connecting. Oh, I don't press play. I hate to make it seem like I'm connecting this with
Close the doors for me for a quick moment.
Bishop. I'm just gonna keep it a buck 50. This a goon tactic. When did the church pulpit start becoming or wearing ski masks? When did they start wearing ski masks? If you have a big church and it's 1,000 people. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back. When did the church start demanding funds from the congregation after they already have tithed? Also, the people in the pulpit, because now I'm understanding, which I'd never even known, that most of the people in the pulpit tithed more than the people not on the pulpit. So I just need to understand from my church folks, man, this isn't a good look. And the David Taylor situation is definitely not a good look because this ties into that. That was back in 20, I want to say 2012 or 2014, one of the two. The David Taylor situation from JMMI. But I mean, this dude was walking in with Louis Gucci shoes, Louis Tom Bell, all of that. But when they start asking him, hey, when the dissertation happened, they was like, hey, you spent $6,000 at the Louis store, at the Louis Vuitton store. What was that for? And the only thing he could say was for my TV ministry. She's in the who was giving him the sauce. She say, well, do you need Louis Vuitton clothing for your TV ministry? Because there's no Macy's on here. And he said, well, Macy's don't have the suits that I wear. What kind of suits do you wear to where to where they can't suffice for you sweating out whatever suits you have on? You got to get your suits tailor made. Oh, okay, that's a little different. I get it. I get it. I get it. Because most high earning evangelists get their suits tailor made. But I don't want to put this on Bishop Sapp. But somebody has to explain this, please, and make it make sense. Because this is crazy. But see, he said they will
Everyone in
offer
this
up
place.
sacrifice. Can I not bring you, like, what would sacrifice be back in those days? They probably had cattle. So if I brought you a cow, what would you do with the cow? If I brought you a goat, what would you do with the goat? And mind you, I mean, USD, getting a cow and a goat is expensive. It ain't cheap. It's probably worth more than what you tithe at the church. But see, with him, he's going into it's almost like he's trying to persuade. And why do you feel the need to persuade your it's crazy because the only thing that's coming is audience. But that's not his audience. It is his congregation. Why does he feel the need to speak to them in this manner? It's crazy, man. Let's go. I was just simple. If he don't know
Giving what I'm about to chat.
people's pockets in the congregation, he knows their pockets. So if Miss Bertha Ann sowed a seed of $2,000 and then her seed came down to $200. You don't think that they have people who see that? Oh, why she ain't want to see the 2000 no more? Man, listen, look. Church folks, y'all need to explain this to me. I just need to maybe you know what, hold on. Maybe Bishop Sapp is really trying to do something and take them funds to do something great. I'm not even contesting that. It's just the character of what we're seeing when it comes to these high, big pastors, bishops, evangelists, whatever you want to call them as, you know, your TD Jakes, your Cleflo Dollar, your Joe Osteen, your who is the old man? Man, he was I don't know about him. I can't think of him right now. I can't think of him right now, but this just snapped somebody like me into questioning because it's like, this ain't even you, Bishop said. You never could have made it. You never could have made it without you talking about God. But even though there's people making jokes about this, I'm really trying to understand. Is this something should I take serious or something that I shouldn't? Because I'm trying to understand. Because I'm not making it to his church with this type of understanding. Let's keep going, man.
A long time ago
See,
that
when
it
you
costs
say
to sit
you
up
was
here.
told, please explain that to us. When you was told back then that it costs to sit up here. What does that mean? What does that mean? And to my own understanding, I can pull out this. I can see everybody wanting to be up behind the main man and the main pastor or bishop, and because people respect them more. Now that I'm older, but he has to explain on what that meant when he found it out to how it applies to now. Me in the sense of when he says, I was taught a long time ago that it costs to be up here. Now, because cost can mean anything, it don't necessarily have to mean currency. It can mean that it costs you giving your soul to the Lord. It's going to cost you giving your time to the church. It's going to cost you not being present with your family as much because you would be here giving your time to me. Not necessarily money. I'm sorry, not money, currency. But somebody has to explain that to me, because for him to say that, and I get it, I'm gonna get a lot of people who says certain things and this. All my church folks, I'm not bashing the church. I'm not, because I'm in support of the Almighty. So I'm asking questions about the so-called leaders, because even in the Bible they say the devil will be, he can wear, he could be a sheep in wolf clothing. So that's, I don't know what to say. So let's just keep going.
Doors.
Bishop got young YNs at that door.
We all
This is crazy, man. We closing doors. It had to be some people walking out because they wasn't feeling what he was saying. So when he says close the doors, we done? This is crazy. Bishop out there, he got young YNs at the best believe. He said, "I ain't going no motherfucking place but the restaurant." Nah, he didn't say that.
gonna leave together. Y'all
It
ain't going
just
no place but to the restaurant.
nah, he didn't say that. He said, "Y'all ain't going." Look, but his face though, his face is like, like a nigga turn up, like, man, nigga, you ain't going nowhere but the restaurant. Like, y'all ain't going nowhere but the restaurant. That's what y'all do after y'all come to a service and feel good. Y'all ain't going nowhere but to eat. After I told y'all, and God told y'all, and He told me, nah, y'all don't eat the fish without scale. Don't eat the hoof, the animal with the hoof foot. But y'all going to the restaurant, the Golden Corral, to eat that. That's all y'all going to. Y'all ain't going nowhere else. I ain't going in there, but I'ma drive past and see all y'all cars there. Nigga, give me $20. This is semi shakedown. Only thing Bishop Sapp don't have, his white hands don't have ski masks. Everybody up there behind him don't have ski masks and firearms. But I mean, like, my man, listen, look, he up there sweating. This a shakedown. If each one of you Negroes give me 1,000, all you 1,000 niggas, give me $20 here right now in the congregation. Cause y'all, yeah, how many of y'all received the word from this? Oh, all y'all raise your hand. If 1,000 of y'all just give me 20, and then 1,000 of y'all online give me 20, that's $40,000. That's soliciting. That's soliciting in its totality. The only difference is the fact that, and don't murder me because when I have a lisp in the way I enunciate, the only difference is he in his church. He created the church, so it's his church. Never would have made it. Facts. Come on, y'all.
It costs to sit up here. Y'all start moving.
It costs to sit up here. It ain't cheap for me to be up here in front of this pulpit and this podium with this microphone to convince all these people here what I'm telling them is true. So all y'all behind me who want to be behind me, y'all need to come up with $100 and sow that seed. Now, I don't know if it's going to grow or not, but you niggas back here going to sow it because it costs to be up here. It costs. I don't know how. And knowing people, human beings, not everybody was comfortable with that behind him. Because it's like, you know my pockets? You know my pockets, Bishop? You know my pockets. Let's go. Let's keep going. Everybody who gonna say in the comments that, oh, look, he giving his. He ain't got no choice but to give his $100. Because it ain't gonna do nothing but come back right to him. Are y'all crazy? Pastor Jennings from New York said that. And it made sense. The church was built for the community of the sick, shut out, and less than, right? So if the sick, shut out, and less than could come and bring the little bit that they have to the altar, the church is supposed to cover that because that's supposed to build the church, which allows the leader to be able to do what he needs to do. But also, when the sick, shut out, and less than the poor fall on below their standards, I'm investing in the church that's growing that should reinvest back into me. So the church should really have a fund because we're growing in times and everything's elevating. It's crazy to see my pastor go off to different places, have a number one selling book. He on TV shows, number one selling recording artist, gospel recording artist, going off doing all these great things, and God bless him. But yet, I'm on the verge of losing my house. And I've been working for the church, supporting the church, tithing for 30. I'm on my last 2 payments. Not only me, but me and Bernadette, Miss Smith, and 2 other women on their last 2 payments. And they can't pay it. So it's like we look to the church who all been faithful. Look into the church. There should be a fund just for the congregation because they are the ones who keep the church flowing with their tithe and offerings. Because like he said, currency. If I bring you a cow, a moose, or a goat in here, everybody in that congregation bring you one of those. Will you complain about it? Or will you be looking for money then? Because what you going to do with that currency? The goats, the cows, the sheep. I just
I'm
don't
good.
agree with that.
I'm out.
He
Peace.
got what he wanted, and he was happy about it.
Drinking warm water.
I feel like he did it in a bullying way, and he bullied his congregation to giving that money. He bullied them, and it wasn't right.
Why is filing your
But he got what
taxes
he
with Free
wanted,
Tax
and I
USA?
hope that seed that was sown really benefits the congregation and not the church. And I say that respectfully because the church will benefit from whatever the pastor sows. So if the pastor has $100,000 in his account, he should sow 10% or whatever it is from that. He should sow it. But that wasn't the way. Then you tell them, oh, after you come, you can leave at the doors. That's not a leader, man. What is this seed for? He did not mention. Then he said, oh, what? Oh, I'm going to go to my hotel. And he paused. Or what I'm doing. Fruit, Bishop. You got a fat belly. Fruit is not going to make your belly that fat. So you eating good, you eating shrimp, lobster, steak, and occasionally you do a salad. So stop capping to the people trying to make it seem like you gonna go back to your hotel and you doing fruit. I can't take it. But listen, this is your boy Living. God bless everybody. And tell you this, because I say this, understand that know who you dealing with. And I say this respectfully because I don't want to sound disrespectful because I love God. I love everything that he does. He's been such a big presence in my life. And I've seen the miracles that could happen when you pray, you fast, and you listen. He's always there. There's a higher echelon, not only just up with God, but there's something else that connects us because we have a special connection that connects with the universe that ultimately goes out to God, that comes right back to us. So whatever we pray, whatever we speak, that's a spell. That's why it's called spelling. When you talk, when you write words, because what you say becomes true. What you say becomes life. So speak life. And there's nothing wrong with you questioning someone who says that they're a leader or a evangelist of God. Because we've seen it before. Look up David Taylor. Look him up. Because I have a reaction video on that. But I'll get to that. But understand that your vision, your journey, and your reality is your own. It's what you create. So live life. So I say that to say this. Without a voice, there's no truth. Without truth, there's no voice. Organic Truth Podcast and TV. Let's go. Blessings.